Think about any great company you know. It has a powerful engine, right? But who's actually down there in the engine room, making sure all the gears are turning in perfect harmony? Well, that's the chief operating officer. They're kind of the unsung hero, the one responsible for turning a CEO's big, grand ideas into day-to-day reality. So who is this person really? You know, the CEO gets all the magazine covers, right? But the COO, they're the master of execution. They are completely obsessed with making the entire organization run smoothly, efficiently, and effectively, not just once in a while, but day in and day out.
Okay, let's really break this down. See, the CEO is focused on the what and the why, the long-term vision, looking maybe 3 to 5 years down the road. The COO, on the other hand, is the master of how. Their entire world is the present, making sure that strategy gets executed flawlessly. So while the CEO is worried about a competitor inventing some new product, the COO is worried about a server crashing right now and bringing the whole company to a standstill.
All right, so let's get into the first part of their playbook, the core mission. And really, it's all about one thing: tuning the company's engine for absolute peak performance. They're obsessed with squeezing out every last drop of efficiency to make the business faster, stronger, and of course, more profitable. This is basically the COO's guiding mantra. It sounds simple, right? But it's actually incredibly powerful. What it's saying is, you can't just jump in and try to improve something randomly. No. You have to earn the right to improve a process by first deeply understanding it, then measuring it with real data, and only then can you actually control it. It's a disciplined approach that's the difference between a great operation and total chaos. And this is how they turn that philosophy into a real practical playbook. Step 1. Define. You literally map out exactly how work gets done, the messy reality, not the clean theory. Step 2. Measure. You attach real numbers to that process. You find the actual bottlenecks. And then Step 3. Control. You use that data to make very precise changes that permanently improve the system. It's just like a doctor who has to diagnose the illness before they can even think about prescribing a cure. Same idea.
Now to get all this done, COOs have this whole toolkit at their disposal. We're talking concepts like Lean, which is all about cutting out wasteful steps, and Six Sigma, to make processes incredibly consistent and error-free. But you know, it's not all about fancy methodologies. Some of the most powerful tools are simple, using automation for all those repetitive tasks. And, honestly, maybe the most powerful tool of all, just listening to the frontline employees. I mean, think about it. They're the ones who really know where the problems are.
Okay, so running a super efficient engine is great. But it's not enough anymore, not even close. The modern CEO's playbook has this massive chapter on defense. We're shifting from just the engine room to what's really a modern battlefield, where the goal is to protect the company from a constant barrage of threats. And believe me, these threats are very, very real. Just look at this number, 94%. Let that sink in for a second. That's almost every single major company. A single event, a storm, a political crisis, a pandemic can bring the entire supply chain to a grinding halt. This right here is what keeps a COO up at night. And this right here, this shows the incredibly tough balancing act they have to do. For decades, the whole mantra was just in time, which is hyper-efficient, but also incredibly fragile. Now you're seeing a lot of COOs shift to just in case, building in a safety net of critical supplies. Yeah, it costs more, but it buys you resilience. It really comes down to this massive trade-off. Do you optimize for maximum profit, or do you optimize for sheer survival? And you know, this battlefield isn't just physical anymore. It's digital. The company's digital life is under constant attack. So a huge part of the COO's job is building a powerful cybersecurity shield. That means having a zero-trust policy, which basically means trust no one, verify everything. It means training employees to be that crucial first line of defense, and it means having a rock-solid plan for when a breach happens. And notice I said when, not if. Protecting data is now core operational duty.
Okay, so a great COO tunes the engine, right? And they defend the fortress. But there's a final, absolutely critical part of their playbook, and it's all about building for the future. They are the architects, designing a blueprint for growth so the company can get bigger without completely breaking.
And this chart, wow, this shows exactly why that is so critical. Because here's the thing, success can actually be dangerous. When your customer demand suddenly explodes, it can totally overwhelm your ability to deliver. This is the classic definition of growing pains. And if you're not ready for it, it can be a total disaster. Angry customers, burned-out employees, and a damaged reputation. The COO's job is to make sure that second bar grows right alongside the first one.
So, how do they do it? How do they get ready? Well, a great COO doesn't wait for the growth to happen. They build a system that's designed to scale from day one. They standardize and automate processes so that doubling your customers doesn't mean you have to double your staff. They use flexible cloud infrastructure instead of buying a bunch of expensive hardware that'll be obsolete in a year. They design the entire company, from its people to its tech, to be ready for the pressure of success.
But here's a really important point. Scaling is never just about technology and systems. It's always about people. A core part of the COO's playbook is something called talent management. And this isn't just some HR buzzword, it's a core operational strategy to make sure you have the right people with the right skills in the right roles to handle the growth you're planning for.
What this really means is creating a place where your best people actually want to stay and grow. It means creating clear career paths so they can see a future. It's about building a culture of learning, and it's more than just good pay. It's about listening. By having those simple, regular feedback loops, a COO makes sure the human engine of the company is just as fine-tuned and ready to scale as the technical one.
And all of this brings us to maybe the single most important takeaway. The COO's playbook, it doesn't have a last page. Their job is never really done. It's a constant, unending cycle of improvement, of adaptation, and of preparing for whatever comes next.
And that brings us right back to where we started, to that core principle. This job is not a project with some finish line. No way. A top COO lives and breathes this cycle: define, measure, control. And the second they're done, they start all over again at define. It's this relentless, unending pursuit of being better.
So I'll leave you with a question to think about. If you could look inside your organization's engine room right now, what would you see? Is it finely tuned for performance? Is it defended against all the craziness of the modern world? And is it actually built for the future? The answers to those questions, well, they tell you everything you need to know about how vital this COO's playbook really is.